What's up, everybody? I got a little surprise, I guess. I don't know if you call it a surprise or not. It's more like work. But my steel FS91R, it give out on me the other day. I've had that weed eater for about 6 years, and it just quit. It just burned up. It quit. So instead of paying $300 and something for a new steel, I went online and I visited Vevor, and they had the vevor 6-in-1 on sale. I'm not sponsored by Vevor. They didn't sponsor me to do this video. It's just I'm doing it for you. That way, if you are looking at buying a weed eater from Vevor and you're looking for a cheaper route than to buying a steel or a Echo or Husqvarna, this is the Vevor. It's the 43. I think it's the 43cc. I didn't do the bigger one. I went with the 43, which is still more cc's than the 91R. And in my opinion, the good thing about it is it's not a 4-mix. It don't have valves like a 4-stroke engine and a little plastic camshaft to burn up. I'm highly disappointed with my steel weed eater. You know, you pay good money for something and it loses compression and everything else. And I never used it in a commercial setting. Yes, I have a lot of weed eating here at my house, which I'll show you. I have all this weed eating, close to 8 acres worth of weed eating, most of which is this hillside out my driveway, around my house, my camper. But here's the Vevor 43cc 6-in-1. I didn't put that guard on the end of it because I don't like the guard on the end, and the one they send with this is kind of flimsy and floppy anyway. But one thing I don't like about this weed eater is this trigger. Okay, if you got small hands, that's gonna be tough on you. I got big hands, and this trigger wears me out holding this trigger. And this switch, if you just bump that switch just a little bit, it turns the weed eater off. Bad placement on that. The string head, I don't know about getting replacement string heads for these. I don't know that right now, but this is one of those easy stringers. You just line these arrows up with these arrows, push your string through, wind it up. I love that about it. That's nice. But and just a fair warning, if you buy one of these, they are a gas hog. I mean, it burns through lots of gas. I weed eated around my house yesterday, and from this tree down to those trees in behind my camper there, I weed eated that section of bank and just around my house and burn a tank of gas. But as far as power, it's got plenty of power. I'll fire it up here and I'll show you it's got plenty of power. But just give me just a second. I don't have a tripod to put you on. Yeah, it's warm, but even when it's cold, choke it, prime the bulb a few times, about 2 pulls, it fires right up. See if I can do this one-handed, but it's got plenty of power. Oh, got some wire. Have to get that wire out. I don't know what kind of wire that is. Probably something that washed in from a flood we had. That's just, that's, that's pretty good. I mean, it weed eats just as good as that 91R in my opinion. But it's a little heavy. It's a little heavier than the 91R steel. But, you know, I think I give 198 for this weed eater. And it comes with a pole saw that attaches here, an extension pole, a weed eater head, 2 brush blades, and a hedge trimmer, and a carrying bag to put it all in. But yeah, it's not a steal, but you know, it does what needs to be done at a cheaper price. And I got to looking at the steel combi package, and to get it with every attachment that came with this, you're looking at over $1,800 in a weed eater. So if I can get, you know, a year, 2 years out of this for $198 with all those attachments, that's a win-win in my opinion. But I mean, it runs good. It's does good. It's a little heavy. The trigger guard's a little big, or the trigger here, this part, it's a little big, but and it drinks a lot of gas. But other than that, you know, it does the job. And it comes with a strap to put it on. I had my 11-year-old boy was using it here a minute ago with that strap on, and even though this thing's heavy, it wouldn't really bother him. He'd just walk around and weed eat with it. And I can run it with one hand, but I've done a lot of weed eating, and I'm used to packing around heavy things. So, but that's the vevor 43cc 6-in-1 weed eater head and engine part. And when I use some of the other attachments, I'll get some videos of that, and we'll see how this thing does over the time using it and weed eating with it. But so far, I'm impressed with it. I like it. Well, there's a little video of the vevor 43cc 6-in-1 combo in action with the weed eater head. Didn't want to bore you. I put the video on time lapse so it wouldn't bore you with weed eating around all those rocks. They're kind of tedious to weed eat around. Didn't really use a whole lot of string going up there. I only had to bump it 4 or 5 times to get done, but so far I'm impressed with it for the money. I mean, for the money, it's if all the other attachments hold up and work as well as the weed eater head, then it'll be well worth the 200 bucks. But let me know what you think. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. But let me know what you think. I'll answer your comments. But thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.